But the U.S. wants to use India, clearly. It wants to use India to beat up China. Don't play the American game. That's my only advice to you.
The advice is well taken. Maybe India also wants to beat up China, but on its own terms. And in February, you quoted Henry Kissinger, the European Parliament, and you said, "To be an enemy of the United States is dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal." Would you offer the same advice to policymakers in India as they try to navigate the Trump tariffs?
That line is actually Henry Kissinger's famous line, that if you're a friend of the United States, beware. Very dangerous. I have lived a whole lifetime of America declaring its friendship to countries that end up getting destroyed in part because of that wonderful friendship. I don't think I have to give advice to India. It's a little superfluous, but just be careful, you know? There is no alliance there. India is anyway too big for alliances. You are an alliance in and of yourself. Civilizations behave as civilizations do. And so being the most populous country in the world, you take care in your relations everywhere. But I would say the idea, and I do have to say it, it sounds, I hope I'm not rude or misunderstood, but the U.S. wants to use India, clearly. It wants to use India to beat up China. Don't play the American game. That's my only advice to you. It makes no sense. Again, it's superfluous for me to tell you that, but it is very much on my mind because the entire U.S. foreign policy is divide and conquer in any part of the world. That's how empires behave. That's what the U.S. learned from the master empire of all, the British. We learned at their knee, and we still try to apply it. So the U.S. loves for India to be in the Quad. It wants India to bash China. I heard some Indian politicians recently saying, no, it's not Donald Trump's trade policy, it's all because of China. No, not exactly. It's actually because of Donald Trump. So just be careful not to play the game. This is really a U.S. game. India's too big for a U.S. game.
The advice is well taken. Maybe India also wants to beat up China, but on its own terms. And when there was pressure from the West a couple of years back vis-a-vis Ukraine, India stood its ground. So one is reasonably confident that India will play this on its own terms.